Yeah, and I think it's helpful to know the impact of your decision. If you do this, here's what it looks like in 5, 10, 15 years. If you do this, here's what it looks like. So seeing it drawn out is kind of nice.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about the 401k options, right? We've talked about we can leave it underneath the 401k, we can roll it. There's good and bad to both. I'm going to go up here to the board and I'm going to talk about some of the advantages first of leaving it underneath a 401k plan, or really some of the advantages of having a 401k plan. When I talk about broadly the differences between the 401k and the IRA, oftentimes I'll put it in context of the 401k plan can be a really effective contributory retirement vehicle. And for that reason, or some of the reasons why it is because of the employer match. Who doesn't like free money?
No,
right?
everybody does.
And when the employer makes a contribution on your behalf, that is in essence free money. And that just helps the compounding of your retirement savings go that much quicker. The other benefit of a 401k plan is you have higher contribution limits than what you would underneath an IRA. In 2022, if you're under the age of 50, you can contribute a total of up to $20,500. If you're 50 and over, you have a $6,500 catch-up, bringing that total contribution limit to $27,000. So you can amass a nice nest egg for retirement in a hurry with the 401k plan, and that, with the employer match, is one of the biggest benefit combinations of the 401k plan. The other advantage is it is very easy. So we talked about some of the simplicity in the old retirement world where you had a pension and the employer contributed. This is about as easy as we can make it right now for people looking to accumulate for retirement. In many cases, employers auto-enroll you into your plan, so it's not even something that many people have to worry about. You start with the employer as soon as you're eligible. You may have an auto contribution, and then sometimes there's an auto increase on the level of your contribution, which means if you start out contributing 6%, every year, it might automatically increase with no change on your from you to 7% or 8%. So it is an easier vehicle than maybe say the IRA as well. Now that's the good stuff. What are some of the disadvantages when it comes to the 401k plan? The first one would be the investment options. If you notice underneath your 401k plan, you are limited based on what the employer selects for your investment options. So you might have 8 options, you might have 10 options, you might have 20 options. Very few plans today have more than 20 options that are available for you to invest in. So that kind of goes with the simplicity. I mean, that's kind of a good, maybe a bad. For some people, less options is easier. But if you really want to create a diversified portfolio, especially in economic times like we're in today, maybe having more options is better, especially when we look at the bond environment. If you want to be more conservative underneath your 401k plan, most of those conservative options are bonds, and with interest rates increasing, most bond funds are going to be decreasing, which means that could be a component of your 401k plan that would actually lose money over the next year or two. So investment options, or the limited availability of investment options, could be seen as a big disadvantage as well. And then the final disadvantage would be the availability, which means you are completely dependent upon your employer to offer that 401k plan. So if you are going to kind of a phased retirement like we talked about before, maybe you're not fully retiring, you're making a transition to another employer and they don't offer a 401k plan, then there's not a new 401k plan that you contribute to. You can't move your old employer plan to the new employer plan. So the availability is completely dependent on the employer and whether or not they make that available. So there's a lot of good things with the 401k plan, but there's also some disadvantages. And especially when we're talking about retirement where you don't have some of these advantages, then it might make more sense to take advantage of some of the benefits of the IRA.
Thank you for watching this clip of Retiring Today, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have questions about your retirement plan, take advantage of the complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup phone call.